Hi, my name is Sean Mabry. I'm a writer, and today I do have a topic, but I wanted to do just two quick announcements right off the top. So first off, I wanted to give a shout out here on the channel officially to Nikita, who emailed me with his poem and was asking for my feedback, and it was just a pleasure to get to read that poem. Nikita, I hope you get that out into the world somewhere. Either send it out to be published in a magazine or publish it yourself, on a blog somewhere. But it's a great poem. Even without my suggestions, it was already great, and I was happy to be able. It was my pleasure to get to read an early version of it, and it's like 90% there already, so it's not like there's much missing. The other announcement I wanted to make, which actually kind of leads into the topic, is that today was very special for me. I got to have my question answered on a podcast called Akimbo. And Akimbo is hosted by Seth Godin, who I believe I've mentioned on this channel before, but he's one of my biggest heroes. I honestly think that anyone who's an artist, period, anyone who's an artist right now needs to be reading his blog every day, both for his generous insights into how to build a community around your work, how to find a tribe, how to share your message, but also how to acknowledge the realities of this world, and if you want to make money with your craft, how to do that. He's, for my money, one of the most insightful thinkers in this realm, and it just blew my mind that I got to have my question answered on his podcast, Akimbo. So I will link to that in the description below. I'm not going to regurgitate what my question or what his answer was here. You have to listen to his podcast for that. But his answer allowed me to identify a mistake in my own thinking that I carried for years. And I wanted to take an opportunity here on my channel to dive into that. And hopefully if anyone out there listening to this is making the same mistake in their own thinking, I can correct that for you right now. So I've always been the type to want to innovate with my work. I've always been attracted to the edges. I've always been attracted to even people who, maybe now are part of the literary canon, but in their time were groundbreaking. And I've always been attracted to bold, risk-taking literature. And for that reason, that's the kind of work I've always aspired to do. But the mistake I made in my thinking is that I somehow got it into my head that, okay, if I want to make something that's bold and original and perhaps even revolutionary, that means I have to throw out everything that came before me, right? I have to throw out all the advice, all the structure, all the literary or genre conventions that came before me, because otherwise I'm stuck in the past, right? Otherwise I'm not being original enough. But reading between the lines of Seth's answer today and just kind of combining that with my own thinking, I realized today that couldn't be a more wrong-headed idea. And it's a wrong-headed idea I carried around for years, so I'm really hoping I can save you from it right now. Because if you want to be an original, if you want to be a boundary pusher, if you want to be innovative in your work, that actually puts an even greater emphasis on the need for you to know what came before you. Because take any artistic movement, any individual artist that seems, who has this reputation of being daring and groundbreaking and, etc., and really look at their work at a deep level, and you'll realize that for them to do what they did, let's take the Dadaists, for example, right? The whole Dadaist movement began with an incredibly deep understanding of what was happening in the art world at that time. So, yes, it was an act of rebellion. Yes, it was a breaking of the rules. But it required, to have it be, because there are many ways that you can break the rules that don't mean anything. There are many ways you can break the rules and just make a mess and not really say anything. To break the rules in a meaningful way, to step out of line in a way that grabs people's attention and perhaps even changes the culture, that requires that you understand everything that came before, and that you really understand why it was there in the first place. What worked? Why did people decide to follow these rules to begin with? You look at your forebears. What did they get right? What were they good at? And then you can start to ask, what can I do better? What can I do differently? But it has to start with an attitude of generosity towards the past is really the best way to begin, especially if you want to do something groundbreaking. So I hope you found that to be a helpful insight. As always, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more writing insights like this, and feel free to go listen to that Akimbo episode down below. I promise it is worth your time. I will see you all next week, and have an awesome week in the meantime. Bye.